Hey, welcome back to episode Instagram podcast. I'm your host Juan, and as always, my co-host here with me. Hey, Trip.
Hey, bud.
How you doing, man?
I'm so good.
Yeah?
Now that you're here, I'm feeling a lot better.
Nice.
No, I pretty much woke up from falling asleep.
Yeah.
I'm feeling good, but I'm still shaking off the grogginess. You know?
I took a nap before I came here too.
Oh man, look at us! We're having a nice, relaxing What day is it? Tuesday. I'm all fucked up because it feels like a Sunday because I'm going back to work tomorrow. So yeah,
maybe your nap synced up, like in the ether or whatever.
Probably had the same dream.
What did you dream about?
Nothing.
We dreamed about this week's topic: Kabaneri, the Iron Fortress.
Okay, cool.
That's a tagline: battle of something.
Battle of yeah, Unato. I want to say, but I'm like.
Yeah, this week we're talking about the new Kabaneri, the Iron Fortress movie.
We sure are.
That is on Netflix.
It just dropped on Netflix a couple days ago.
Yeah, a few days ago.
And by that I mean like Friday, I think?
I think it was Friday.
I don't know. It's advertised as, hey, you just fucking, it's right here, you know. Hey, here it is. Let me just get this name. Unato. Nailed it. Bella Unato.
Yeah, so we'll be chatting about that in a bit. But first, let's talk about each other because that's more important.
Okay, well, let's just see. So I had to not record the podcast last night because you were getting a tattoo.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
That
So
is
how'd
true.
that go?
Well, it's funny. I think was it last week? Sierra, you were texting Sierra and me in a group thing.
Yeah, I don't remember who started. What it was even about, but
oh wait, I know what it was about. It was about this mad email we got or whatever, right?
Was it?
Yeah, I think so. I think that would make sense.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's not true. Sierra was calling us out for getting the wrong name for Cheryl and Tuesday. Carol and Tuesday. Cheryl and Tuesday. Cheryl and Wednesday.
We're not name people. We're not date people. We don't remember those things. We remember big picture, not those finer details that really make the whole.
The character's name is Alice. We called her Rebecca. I called her Rebecca. I'm sorry for all people that are mad. Please don't send us emails. But anyways, later on, we'll talk about the tattoo in a bit. We did get an email from a guy named Andrew, and the subject title was "I'm really upset with Juan." Like, he just sent us a screenshot of it because I don't really look at our email unless like you tell me to. And I was kind of worried because I usually don't get emails like that.
Oh yeah.
And I was really like because I started reading it, and at first I was like, "Oh fuck, I really upset this guy." And then halfway through, I realized that it's Angela. Her name's Angela.
I just thought it was so funny.
Fucking trash. Anyways, we'll do this over. We're going to start the podcast over. Sierra's probably yelling at the fucking...
That's why I'm like, hang on a second.
Angela.
You fucked it up last time. I'm like, Alice is wrong. So, I don't want to call you out, but...
Okay, so Angela's the name of the character from the show Cheryl and Saturday. Everybody knows that. Anyways, we got this email from this guy, Andrew, who's a listener. And when I was reading through it, I really thought he was upset with me. He was like dropping a lot of F-bombs, and I was like, "Oh fuck, what did I do?" Because I was, our goal isn't to like offend people or upset people.
That's not our goal, but if it happens,
it happens, right? But
trying to be loving and accepting, but whatever.
But I was really trying to think about what I did wrong. It was nothing. Andrew was just fucking yanking my chain.
He's doing a big goof.
Oh, he was really fucking with me, and I think he's picked up or realized the way you and I talk each other. Like, we really just kind of fuck with each other sometimes. Oh, yeah. So he's like, "Oh, cool, I can fuck with these guys." Thank you, Andrew.
It always cracks me up because I read it and I'm like, ooh. And then I send it to you and I'm like, hey, you're getting called out, even though it's a total joke.
Yeah, so Andrew did suggest we do a Hunter x Hunter episode, and we'll talk about doing it. We talked about doing it. We'll get around to it. I just need to finish this fucking show, right?
There's so many things.
There's a lot of episodes left for me to do that. But yeah, if I ever get around to finishing Hunter x Hunter, then I will force you to do an episode.
All right, perfect. Yeah. Good.
Because you've already watched all of it.
Yeah, I know everything there is to know. I remember all the characters' names. Every single one in the 148 episode series.
I rolled the perfect 20.
Yeah.
So yes. So back to us group texting or whatever. Something came up, blah, blah, blah. Sierra lets you know, hey, by the way, you can't record on Monday. You have to record on Tuesday because Juan's going to get a tattoo. And you go, what? Like, Juan would have mentioned that to me. And I'm like in bed, like reading these texts, and then Sierra's was like, "Oh yeah, you'd think he would, blah blah blah, all this stuff." And like, yeah, so he was like, Trip's like, "Okay, I guess we're recording on Tuesday." Shit, right? And then I think I waited like 20 or 30 minutes later, and I just sent you a text like, "Hey man, by the way, I'm getting a text. I'm getting a tattoo on Monday. Just a heads up, got to record on Tuesday." And you, oh, thanks for the fucking heads up. Yeah, no. So I got a tattoo. I've always liked tattoos. I've always wanted tattoos. But my parents are really traditional, like when it comes to like their ideals and upbringing and stuff. So
it has to be a family crest.
So the tattoos are like a big no for my family, and my parents helped me pay for school, and they let me live with them, and they fed me, and they gave me everything, and all they ever asked for was for me not to get a tattoo, and I was like, that's a fair trade. Like, you've literally handed me everything like on a silver platter. All I have to do is not put a tattoo on my body. Sounds good. But I'm married now. I don't live with my parents anymore. And it's something I always wanted to do. So I was like, fuck it, let's fucking do it. So I've been looking into an artist. Her name is Gesso. That's not really her name. That's her artist name. She has a tattoo shop in Citrus Heights. It's next to Sacramento, a place called Imperial Rex. I sent her my ideas. She emailed me back saying, yeah, I want to tattoo you. And I was like, fucking dope. So yesterday was the appointment. I drove out to Citrus Heights, got there a little before 4, did all the paperwork and stuff. And I didn't really know what to expect, but they send you stuff like, hey, these are things you want to wear comfy clothes, make sure you've eaten a big meal beforehand, make sure you're hydrated, don't be hungover, don't be on an influence of anything. So I checked all the things off. And I think in my head, I was like mentally preparing myself, like how it would feel, because tattoos apparently hurt. But I was like, honestly, once you got tattooed or whatever, for the first 20 minutes of it, I was like, oh, that's not that bad, And Jess said, because she was like, she knew it was my first time. She goes, I'm gonna do a small line and let you get a feel for what it's gonna feel like. She was like the tiny line, and he goes, how was that? And I go, oh, it's not that bad. She goes, honestly, like the worst part of the tattoo is like the first 20 to 30 minutes, like getting used to that pain. He's like, after that, it's cake. I was like, okay, cool. She's a fucking liar, bro. Because I was fine for the first 30 minutes, first hour, second hour kind of rolled in. But the last couple hours, it really started to fucking hurt.
Yeah.
But at no point was but not to the point where I was gonna tap out and quit or cry or pass out or even maybe think I'm never getting tattooed again. It was more just wow, that fucking really hurts. Especially because places get worked on, they get tender, and then she puts Vaseline on it to make sure the swelling doesn't come up or whatever. Yeah. And then you're like, oh, thank God she's not touching that place anymore. And then she goes back to the same spot in a tinier area, and it's just oh my God. And it's it feels like raw meat just being fucking blasted.
Yeah, pierced again and again and again with a tiny little gun. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking brutal. Great time. Her and I got to know each other. We talked about a bunch of stuff. We talked about anime. She was telling me that, one of the first anime she watched was Sailor Moon.
Whoa, never heard of that.
Yeah, never heard of it. And she was saying that she went back to watch the old Sailor Moon because it's on Hulu, and because her and her buddy, her friend, were thinking about getting matching friend tattoos, and they're like, maybe we can get our favorite Sailor Moon characters, logos or whatever, And so she's like, I'm gonna do my research. So she went back to Sailor Moon, and she's like, oh my God, it's so bad. I was like, yeah, it's fucking horrible.
Absolutely.
I was like, never go back. Just leave that shit in the past.
That's the way it should stay. I'm not gonna watch Fighting Foodons.
Oh no, I have watched Fighting Foodons. It's so fucking bad.
I'm not gonna watch it. It's fun for me in my head.
And so we talked about so much stuff. She was really cool. It was great. It was an awesome experience. I would for sure get tattooed again, but I mean, I'd have to make sure this thing heals first, because my arm, because I was in this weird position, holding it. At least it felt weird to me, right? And then I got a first break after I called hey, can I get some water after an hour, maybe 2, and then my arm and shoulder were dead, and I was like, everything felt weird. And then she wraps me up. I got this weird this medical Band-Aid on it or whatever. It's supposed to stay on for 3 to 4 days, and it driving home, my arm,
I can imagine that was
all
the fucking
weird,
worst.
and it's sleeping was rough last night. It's how do I sleep in the right position?
You don't.
So I got a beetle. People are curious. I'll show you later. I'll show you. I can't show you now because I don't want to move
because of the way that it is.
Yeah, because of the way my arm is.
Yeah,
it's kind of goopy too, which is kind of gross.
Oh, I love it.
Tattoos are gross, by the way.
I know it's gonna scab over for a while.
Yeah, it's gonna be some nasty shit. So got a tattoo on Monday. Great time. Awesome. I'd recommend it to everybody, guys. All you kids out there, get tattoos on your faces, on your necks, on your hands, things that you won't regret.
Oh, good.
Those are horrible ideas. So don't do that. Don't listen to me.
Yeah, just get the eye ones. You know, that change the whites
the
of your eyes.
Whites of your eyes.
Yeah,
those are terrifying. Yeah, man. I for sure think I got an itch. I for sure want to get more. I just don't know what I want to get or where. But it was good. I've always wanted to do it, and I'm glad I did it. I felt like when I got home and like they sat down and watched the last 2 episodes of Kabaneri eating dinner, I was like, that was a good time. I really enjoyed that.
Good.
Hopefully my arm doesn't fucking fall off or whatever.
Yeah, it won't.
Yeah. So that was my Monday. Besides that, I mean, I haven't really done anything fun. Like that's the coolest thing I've done in the last few days. Like I watched football on Sunday and got drunk because my team lost. My fantasy football team lost. It just losses all the way around. So yeah, so there's nothing really going on with my life besides this awesome tattoo.
So you and I went to our friend's house and played some games.
Yeah, that shit was boring as fuck though. Eliza, you suck.
I love it whenever you do that.
I just forget, yeah.
There's nothing else. It's like you and I shared an experience.
Oh, I don't remember this. Anyways, what you been up to, man?
So much Monster Hunter. Not a lot's going on in my life aside from Monster Hunter. It's going to stay consistent. Mm-hmm. My boss has been out of town, so I've been the big boss at work. And let me tell you, my Sunday was fucking hell.
Yeah.
There was like nothing that could be done. Essentially, all these different things happened to where dude lost his job, can't move in somewhere. Huge bummer. But he let us know one day before he was supposed to move in. Mm-hmm. And it was like 5 p.m. We were about to close and he was supposed to come in tomorrow morning. Anyways, he didn't get to. So we were like, okay, cool. So we have to re-rent that to somebody else. There's all kinds of weird switches going on. And this is just the hecticness, the craziness of random chance. There's nothing that could have prevented any of this. We were communicating with the people all throughout, and then people are just like, yep, something fucking up happened. So then comes Sunday, and because we have this apartment that's available immediately, I'm working alone. Everyone wants to tour. Everyone has questions about everything, and it's nonstop. I'm supposed to work from 11 to 4, had plans after work, and then it hits 3:30. Somebody comes by to tour, and he's actually on our wait list and wants the apartment. So I'm like, yes, of course. Even though, you said you didn't want an upstairs apartment because you have bad knees. Like, we'll hook you up. We'll give you the place. It'll be great. Let's go back to the office. You give me the deposit and the rent, and then I'll sign the lease and you get the keys and it's all yours today. We're all good to go. Mm-hmm. And when we get back to the apartment, he doesn't stop by his car or like bring in a checkbook or anything. I'm like, do you have your checkbook with you? And he's like, I have a card. I'm like, no, man. That's not how this works. We already talked about this before. But okay, come in tomorrow morning and we'll take care of it then. I thought I was going to have to stay for like a long ass time after work and get a bunch of overtime and do all this shit. I was excited about the money, but I was already exhausted and I would have to skip a break, which would not be legal really for this whole situation. Anyways, crazy shit. I was exhausted. And then yesterday was one of the chillest days that I've had at work in a long time, and it was just a good time. Everyone was relaxed. Nothing was crazy. The weird things that did wind up happening, everyone was on the same page, and it wasn't like causing issues for anyone. It was a great day. It was a good time. Yeah, so good things are happening at work in my life. And I've been playing so much Monster Hunter, dude. I spoiled what a new set of armor looks like for one of the last monsters that you fight. Not on purpose, but somebody posted a picture and they were like, oh, I found this random person and we're doing the same emotes and it's fun. And then I saw their gear and I was like, oh, fuck, that looks so fucking cool. I'm so excited for that. Mm-hmm. And I knew exactly what it was from. And then people are posting anime, like fan art of it and stuff. I'm like, yeah, I'm getting that. It's amazing. It's like this flowy squid outfit. And it looks like a grown-up Splatoon kid.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so it's adult Splatoon. And he kill monsters instead of shoot paint. So I'm way into it. I'm ready for that. And then my buddy Sam, he's just like, dude, you're going to love the cat's outfit for that too. And I'm like, fuck yeah. Oh, I'm so stoked. And he's like, you're going to love your weapon for it. And I don't want to spoil everything, so I haven't seen those yet. Mm-hmm. I don't know what the fight's like. I know what the monster looks like. I know what the armor looks like. I don't know what it does really. But fuck, I'm so excited. It's going to be rad.
Nice.
So I'm just excited about dumb shit like that. Monster Hunter's been a blast. People are finding some things in it that are very different, I think. They always put little personality in characters like the cats and whatnot, or just characters in the background. There's a little pig that you pet and stuff. Anyways, there are these wild cats, and they have like little communities in the different regions. You have quests to go out and like find them doing interesting things in the background of stuff. So you have to use like your special lens and go and take a picture of it and everything. Somebody posted the video of one of the missions where you find this cat that has a little leaf umbrella and is very Totoro, like protecting from the rain. And he tries to like go up to this female cat and lend her the umbrella. And then she goes over to another cat that pops into the scene and gets under his umbrella. So then that original cat's all sad. And the girl comes up and shares the umbrella, and then they're all happy. And it's like, oh, that's a cute little scene. And then somebody's like, yeah, well, check this one out. And you find this cat who's fishing, and it's like catching fish, and it's all excited every time it does it. And then it catches a giant one that grabs it and pulls it into acid water, and it kills the cat person.
What?
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, this is a cute little adorable scene. That's so cool. They would put the extra detail in. And it's like, oh, they just killed that cute, adorable little cat, like for real.
That's nice.
Woo! Anyways, cool little details like that are being found, and it's just been an absolute blast playing with my friends. I haven't done a whole lot else. I can't remember for sure, but I think maybe since the last podcast, I've also been playing Stardew Valley. Finally got married in the game. I got lucky and it rained like one day before winter.
Congratulations.
So it's pretty fun. That's my progress in that. Stardew Valley is a lot of fun. We're at the part now where we're pretty much just organizing our farm, and like that's about all that we have to do. It's winter, so there are no crops. And then I'm going down in the mines just in case we need something from down there. And it's fun, man. I don't know what it is about Stardew Valley, but it's like top notch in my book. And my friend Kate that loves Stardew Valley, she was telling me that she's been playing Dragon Quest Builders, and I've seen some people talk about it, but nobody's really said what it is. They just say they're playing it nonstop and it's a lot of fun. Then other people are like, oh yeah, I've seen it. It does look like it should be fun. Like, I'll have to try it out. Haven't heard anything about what it is. She didn't explain too well what the gameplay is like, other than you're a builder and you come to this island, and all of the people there hate builders for some reason or another. I know, right? Very weird.
It's a very weird thing to hate.
So you come there and you're like trying to teach them, oh no, building shit's like good. Don't worry about it.
Building is
here
fun.
and I will help you and I'll build stuff. And you kind of help them build the town. And then she talked about all the different things she's building. And she's like, yeah, I just got to this quest where I'm pretty late in the game and there's a war going on. So I'm building weapons for the army. And then people are coming back from war, but they're dead. So we need coffins. So I'm building coffins. And I'm like, oh shit, for a Dragon Quest game? She's like, yeah, it got really dark. Anyways, I'm going to build some toilets and a pyramid now. And I'm like, what? Okay. Crazy game. Don't know what it is, but she was trying to compare it to Stardew, and that like, if you like a game like that, you might like this one. So I might have to pick it up and check it out sometime. It sounds interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to see you play it and see if it's worth. It does sound interesting. It sounds kind of morbid.
Exactly. That's the weird thing about it, is that, you know, there's all this just fun. You build stuff and you build your town. Everyone loves you, and then suddenly, you know, people are going off to war and you're making them coffins. And I'm like, wow, that's really cool that they actually show the devastation from war instead of just be like, we're going to war and we win. It's like, even if you do win, you're building coffins for all these people.
Are dying. Yeah. Wow, it's wild, man. Well,
pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And I've got a new coworker, so I was kind of telling her a little bit about just my nerdy ass hobbies and stuff. And then my other coworker and we were having a conversation about anime figures. I don't remember how it came up. I think it was Monster Hunter, probably. And there was that figure of Teostra that was like $200 and something, and it went down to like $180, and I almost bought it at Anime Expo, but I didn't wind up buying it, so whatever. Anyways, I was talking about that because I was talking about Monster Hunter. And I'm like, oh yeah, I collect like a shit ton of figures, so here's my collection. I was showing her everything, and I'm like, I need more. Oh
yeah,
I'm hankering for more.
This case
man.
Is already full, man. You need another case.
It's a full case. I guess I got to get another case. Maybe I can get some shelves up high and start, I don't know, shelving them up or something. So I don't know, man. I got a hankering for a little bit of anime figures, though.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea.
That's true. Yeah, and I haven't been doing much else in my week. My sister's in town, so we're gonna hang out later.
They're going to Hula's.
We go on Hula's. Yeah. She was also telling me that her and her best friend have been watching Cardcaptor Sakura just to enjoy it again. She's like, yeah, man, it's been dope.
I remember something I did. I don't know if I talked to you about it. I went to the movies and watched this movie called Ready or Not. Did we talk about this?
No.
You're not going to watch this, yeah?
No.
Can I spoil it for
Yeah.
you? Okay, great. So,
And everyone else, spoilers.
yeah, here's spoilers for Ready or Not, guys. So, it's a survival movie, right? About this girl who marries into a family, and like every time someone new joins the family, they have to play a game, and this little box pops out a card, and they're all there and gathered, and this family's really fucking fucked up. They're really wealthy also. And the game she draws is hide and seek. And she's like, ooh, yeah, hide and seek. Ooh. And then they're like, yeah, hide and seek. And like, okay, go play hide and seek. And then they start killing people, right? And I think the idea behind it is that they've made their money because they sold their souls to like some sort of like their ancestors sold their soul to the devil.
Just some dumb horror movie shit.
Some dumb horror shit, yeah. And that's why they're so successful. And like every time a new member joins a family, they have to play this card. I mean, play a game. And sometimes it's like a game can be like checkers or like mahjong or something. But if it's hide and seek, they have to sacrifice that person. Like that they kill that person before dawn and sacrifice him for them to keep living or whatever.
So it doesn't have to be a bad game, but it happened to be a bad one?
Yeah, it's the one card you don't want to pull is hide and seek. I was also thinking that while I was watching, I was like, yo, how is your sister married? And how's your brother married? How did they survive or whatever? But yeah, they pulled an okay card to play, right? So the bit where so I was watching it, it's not that like it's not the best acting, you know. There's the violence is okay. There was bits where I thought the bride was going to be a little more hardcore and kill more people, but she actually didn't kill as many people as I thought. There was a lot of accidental deaths, a lot of like mages being shot with arrows and shot in the head, and just a lot of accidents. So it was kind of campy, a little bit of fun.
Sure. Yeah.
The bit that I was really enjoying was her husband, the one that's bringing her into this family. Like he's like believes in this curse because apparently if you decide not to pull a card when you marry someone, that person will mysteriously die. Like they just will die somehow, like a heart attack or whatever, the very next day. So like she really wants to get married, so this is the solution. In my head, it's like, you're kind of an asshole. You should have told her ahead of time, right?
Yeah,
like
definitely.
Maybe she'll just go, cool, we just won't get married, Movie comes near to the end, they capture her, like she's been through a lot of shit, she's all fucked up. They're gonna sacrifice her or whatever. And then like she thwarts their plans at the last minute. And then like dawn breaks, they open up the fucking blinds, the light comes in and they all go like to be like super scared from like the sun, like because something's gonna happen, and nothing happens. And at first I was like, holy shit, how wild if it just ends here. They just go, hey man, my bad, we thought it was this thing, obviously it's not, it's all bullshit. And so then like the evil evil aunt that's really old is like, well fuck it, I'm still gonna kill her. She goes like axe her down and she blows up, like she's pops and like there's blood and gore everywhere, and then they just all start blowing up, and I was like, oh, it was real, okay, cool. And so then like she sees like the ghost of the evil guy that they sold their devil to, like the spirit to. It took a real hard turn. And then like she's like sitting at like the at the steps of the house as it's burning down, and she's like smoking a cigarette, like covered in like gore and like her wedding dress, and the cops roll up, and I'm just like, and that's just how it ends. And I go, wow, that's fucking weird. How do you, how would you explain that to somebody? And I was like, I guess you could tell the truth, or just be like, well, they tried to kill me and now they're dead. Who fucking cares, right?
Yeah, but how did they get eviscerated?
How do you explain that, right? But like, how do they prove that you eviscerated them? You go, well, they have no weapons on me, obviously. I don't have magical powers. They just blew up.
Yeah.
It was a strange movie.
That's why they had to end it there, because they were like, this is pretty dumb.
Yeah.
But if they did leave it at the point where it's just like, oh shit, it wasn't true, that would be a more interesting thing to me.
I think it would have been a lot of fun, like if it's just like, oh, it's not true, and then they go, well, we're sorry, and then welcome to the family or whatever, and I thought that would have been a lot more funny.
Yeah.
But no, they just blew them up.
Man, horror movies have a really difficult time with showing too much, and just going too far and whatnot, but there's so many conflicting things where it's like that movie was almost a little bit better.
Yeah, it could have been ending. In my opinion, yeah, I think so.
And then there's also a movie like Us, which I loved Us, except for the plot.
Oh, yeah, you didn't like the way...
I liked all of it. I liked everything that happened. I liked all that shit. But they were trying to like explain it too much. Yeah. And whenever it's explained too much and it's like, and that's the real reason, that always pisses me off when it's stupid.
But they try to
I'm like, oh, this is cool. It doesn't need a good reason. It could just be
just be a thing.
Yeah, it could just be a thing. And for this to be like, oh shit, we actually thought that. Like, guess it's not a thing. That's a cool twist on it. Versus like, it's a thing for this reason, which is what always happens in every movie. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's too bad that it wasn't a great ending, but it was fun. So I'm happy for you.
It was fun. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody, especially if you're like one of those persons that likes, I guess, survival movies. Like, it wasn't the best type of survival movie. It was just kind of, oh, okay. Yeah. There was a lot of her running around and getting hurt, and like I said, she really didn't kill anybody. I don't think. I think she kills the mom at one point, and that's at the point where she bashes her head in, and I think she just kind of snaps. But before that, I'm like, yeah, you could have killed a lot of people, like a lot, but you decided not to. But I guess it made more sense for them to all blow up at the end. I don't know.
Whatever.
Anyways, you been watching anime?
Yeah, I've watched anime. I've watched everything except for Copcraft, because Copcraft was a recap episode, and this next episode that apparently just aired like yesterday, I've read that the animation quality is just the worst out of every episode so far, and it's already got pretty shitty animation quality. Wow. So yeah, that's exciting to look forward to. Anyways, love Vinland Saga. It's at a great point right now where the beginning of the episode starts out with like a dream sequence. That was good.
Yeah.
And then continuing on to High Dive, since I'm not watching a whole lot out there. Oh, Maidens in Your Savage Season. I'm so compelled every episode. I don't know exactly what I want to happen in each episode, but whenever anything happens, I'm excited and terrified at like every moment. It feels like more suspense than any suspenseful show that I've watched in a long time. I don't know if you're caught up with it or not.
I'm not, no. I'm a few episodes behind.
It's getting really intense. Because, I mean, there have been a few moments where it's just like, ooh, I don't really know what's going on with that. And you don't really like what's going on. And we're going full force into, you don't like what's going on, dog.
How many episodes left, do you think?
It's either 12 or 13.
Okay, so you're pretty
it's
close.
Almost done. It's like 1 or 2 episodes away. Yeah. I love it. It's so good. It is absolutely the best show of the season. I think it's taken best show of the year for me. Not 100%, but it's it's so good. I look forward to it so much. And then Daily Lives of High School Girls. No, that's not.
No, it's Wasteful Days of
High School Girls. Sorry, because it's just like every other show that there is. It's been a lot of fun. This last episode, it focused on some different characters than normal. Like, it doesn't always focus on the same group, but it focused on some characters that were like not gonna stick around for a little bit kind of things. Got to see a little bit about the teacher, and got to see a little bit about Robo, the girl who's really into technology and stuff. Somebody has a crush on her, so his whole thing is he was trying to be like, oh, I was looking so hard to find that book that you're reading. Where did you find it? And she tells him where, and then he starts explaining like, oh yeah, how bad he's wanted to read it and everything, and it winds up being like how to tell your friend that they have a slightly smelly house. And right, he's like, fuck, of course it wound up being that book. But she's like, it's clear that you really need this right now, and that this is an issue that's been affecting you. Here, take this book.
And it's more like he's just trying to drum up some sort of conversation or be like, hey,
he's just trying to express interest and so somehow make that connection.
And the way he's doing that is lying about this book that he wants to read really bad.
Yeah, more or less. And then it goes into I thought it was pretty interesting. You have the girl that's like in between. She's not stupid. She's not the smart one, but she's like the boy love one. Mm-hmm. And she's also a manga artist and everything. She's not super confident in her work, but she gets inspiration from this one YouTube artist, this musician that makes like Vocaloid songs. So she's super inspired by them, and they're going to have a little like CD sale at some convention type thing. So she's going and she's excited to meet the guy and like express all of her thanks for the work or whatever. Then it winds up being her teacher that is the guy who makes the music. Okay. Right. So anyways, she goes and she meets him, but he realizes it's her and he's like, oh fuck, it's her. Oh fuck. Cause he sees like in one of the pictures that she sent of, I don't know what it was. It was like the album cover, because she did a cover of his song and like sang the lyrics that he wrote. And he was like, wow, it's so good. And then saw her journal that they turn in every day. She saw that in the background because she drew like a goofy picture on it. So he quickly pivots and decides to be a different person. So he like borrows his neighbor's towel and takes off his jacket and pulls up his sleeve so it looks like it's like a weird tank top. And then he puts his hair back and takes off his glasses and looks like a totally different kind of person. And she's just coming up like expressing everything. He's like, okay. And that's like it. And she's like, oh no, like that was horrible. And then he comes and he's like, wait, it was me. I'm your teacher. Like, thank you so much for like appreciating my work. And I'm happy to inspire you and stuff. And like, I appreciate you. And then she's like, oh, fuck. It's my teacher that I care so much about. Like, fuck. Oh, man. I don't. Ugh. So it becomes this whole like she's screaming. She's like, fuck. I didn't realize it was you. And then he's like embarrassed, of course, because it's his student and he didn't want to be seen as somebody who's not like an instructor. Mm-hmm. And neither of them are happy with it. But then she's like, yeah, well, it's good music. So yeah. And that's kind of the way that concludes. So it was a little bit less of a comedy episode and a little bit more of like focusing on these two interactions, more or less.
That's cool.
It was interesting. It was cool. Yeah, man, I can't tell you. Oh Maidens is one of the best. Fuck. Every episode, like I had 2 episodes to catch up on. They always end and you're like, ooh, man, I can't wait for the next one. And then if you watch the preview where it's just like the episode title and then they're saying a bunch of phrases or whatever, a bunch of words, one of them ends with, am I really going to commit a grave sin or like something like that? Yeah. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then when I see what it is the next episode, I'm like, well, you got me again, I guess. Mm-hmm. What the fuck? I'm really excited to see how it concludes. It's almost there. Man, it would suck to be a girl in Japan at this school. That's all I have to say. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm behind on O Maidens. I've caught up with Vinland Saga though. Yeah, and this last episode is pretty cool. Like you said, there was like the dream sequency beginning of Thorfinn, you know, with his family and talking to his dad or whatever, which is nice.
Yeah.
And then we see like, I guess what's going to happen next week. You know, it looks like they're going to save a prince for a bunch of money, maybe sell him to his right kingdom or the opposing kingdom to make money. Man. It was really fucked because like
it's whatever.
They chopped the head off the messenger, and I was like, I did not see that coming at all.
Because he was just like, hey guys, we're retreating, like everything's fucked. We got to get out of here. And they were like, thank you so much for letting us know, and then like gave him food and a drink or whatever.
Yeah.
And then suddenly they're like, anyways, our decision, or more so the leader. Yeah.
He's like, what information? Like, he collects the information that he wants from them and he goes, cool, now you're dead and now I can decide what to do. You know? I was like, that's fucking brutal.
Yeah, it was insane. And it's such a weird show because you want to root for these like bad characters
but they're bad guys. Yeah, you go, oh, I hope the good guys win. You realize, no, they're all bad. They're all monsters.
Fucking sucks.
Like there's a scene where you see the two guys fighting back and forth because one of them called the other one stupid and the other one didn't apologize. And I was like, oh, they're just gonna brawl it out. No, one of them kills the other one, and everybody's just like, well, that's them's the breaks, right? And I go, what? That's horrible.
I mean, it's the fatigue from war.
Yeah, the boredom,
it's like every little thing.
Yeah.
They're crazed. That's what they're doing. And I totally get it. But what I don't totally get is everyone else being like, yeah, let's see this fight. Yeah. Because it's like, didn't you guys just go and kill like hundreds of people just like a day ago?
Aren't those guys your boys? You shouldn't let your boys kill each other, right? Like,
I mean, it's kind of just like, you know what? If they want to kill each other, they kill each other.
Yeah.
But I feel like everyone else would be like, we already see this all the time. Yeah. What's the point? I'm not even fighting.
It's a strange bloodlust, I think. It's still a great show.
Weird thing.
I'm excited to see how this continues. I watched a little more about the gay guitar boys. Mm-hmm. He's trying to write a song. He's having like a hard time because the main character is kind of a dumbass and can't express himself that well. So he's like really trying to like do it. And I was like, hey man, keep trying or whatever. Right. And that's what's going on right now.
And it's called Given for anyone that can't find the show when they look up gay guitar boys.
Yeah, it's Given. Yeah, it's on it's on Crunchyroll. Let's see, what else have I seen? So there's the Commonplace to World's Strongest or whatever. That one has a really weird name in the beginning.
Yeah, Arifuerta.
Yeah, so the show took a really weird turn.
Oh, I know.
like a.
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
With
I
the
saw
bunny
it.
people?
Everyone saw.
it was so strange because
Yeah.
So I've been watching the show. I think it's around 7 episodes in. He's doing the whole labyrinth thing. He's getting really strong. Like he's finds the vampire chick and they become friends and there's this bond and they get to the end of the labyrinth. They find like the person that created the labyrinth. I don't know what they're called. They might be called like, engineers or artifactors or whatever, and like there's this weird like ghost hologram that says, hey, you made it here. Congratulations. He goes like, here's a power up, right? Kind of like a video game. And they go, and then they stay there in his mansion for like 3 months and they learn all the things they can learn. They build a bunch of stuff and they learn how to teleport out of the labyrinth. And then they know that there's other labyrinths to find and they figure, okay, well, we'll clear all the labyrinths and then maybe that will lead to us being able to go back home. I'm like, cool. That sounds like a really good plan. So the episode starts and there's just like this bunny chick, like a bunny person with like this, big old boobs or whatever. And she's like waiting specifically for something to happen. And she's like, oh, they're going to be here. Hopefully they're not late. And I think she has a little bit of like ESP or whatever, like she can see future sight or whatever. And so our heroes pop out and everything kind of changes. Like, cause she's like, hey, help me. I need you guys to help me. And our guys, the main characters, they're not like good guys. They're not like bad guys. They're just kind of in it for themselves. So there's like, no, fuck you. And she's like, what? You guys are heroes. Don't you want to help? And like, then they start like beating on her. Like they give her like big old lumps on her head. I'm like, that's kind of mean, right? And I go, okay, maybe it's, they're just being assholes because they're assholes, right? They begrudgingly agree after a long time to help. This character is very like cartoony, very flamboyant, very like, I got big tits and look at me. And shouldn't you help a beautiful woman like myself and blah, 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 and stuff. So they help the bunny tribe fucking survive. He trains the fuck out of them and they become these giant yoked monsters or whatever. Yeah. The bunny chick trains specifically with the vampire girl and she's doing some sort of magic maybe, but she's also like, she's really strong. Like she has like a giant, like oversized, like mallet, kind of like Harley Quinn kind of thing. And they agree to like have her join the party. And it's really bizarre. Like I just didn't expect the show to like, go that way. And I'm just like, I don't know if I still enjoy it. I'm interested to see what comes of it, but it's just a really strange like addition, like added character to this to the crew. And I'm like, it doesn't really make sense in my head. The one bit that I did like that I think was pretty funny was he was training these bunny people and they were all like super huge cowards and like very peace loving. And he's like, no, fuck that. Get strong, kill monsters. That's what we do. And then there's a point where we see them when they're all yoked and they're like, yeah, we killed all these fucking rhinos, fucking monster things. And they're like, they look like savages. And he goes, in his head, he goes like, good, you guys did really good. Good for you guys. And I go, oh my God, he's ruined this like society. They're these warmongers now. So yeah, that whole episode really took me,
just wait until the dragon, man.
Yeah. I don't know how much, I mean, I think I'm like 3 or 4 episodes, maybe three or 2 episodes behind, but I was like, did not expect the show to go this way. So
yeah, don't worry. You'll get to levels that reach like, are you lost?
Yeah, hopefully.
Do you remember that show?
No.
It's the one where the girls are stranded on the island.
Oh, nice. Where they're peeing in each other's mouth or whatever.
Yeah, it gets to that same level.
Nice.
Soon.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
Should be exciting.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at with that show. I mean, besides that, I'm behind on like fucking Is It Wrong? Bros Dungeons, Maidens, and I think that's. Oh, I'm caught up with Dr. Stone.
How's the Stone Boys?
He's just a Stone boy. Like they made a new friend.
I heard it was a beach episode or something recently.
I don't fucking know.
Okay.
But they made a new friend. He's also kind of working with like the long haired guy, and he's kind of like the shady. What's the word? He was like a TV psychic, kind of thing, like a teen psychic.
Yeah.
And so he like has like shitty magic tricks that he's using to like fool people that are like not very smart, and
yeah, of the like ones that weren't frozen.
The actual like the people who have they're just not as smart, right? Exactly. Mm-hmm. They build a magnet, which is kind of cool, and I was like, oh great, like
I did hear about that. Yeah,
they're building a magnet because they're trying to like I don't know what the steps are, but their goal is to make antibiotics, and I go, I guess you need a magnet. Cool, good for you guys. I don't fucking know the steps. It has like like when you split the party like in like campaigns,
mm-hmm.
for like D&D, like people, don't split the party, even though we split the party all the time, but for like dumb things.
Yeah, if we're going in a dungeon or something, we don't split the party. Like it's not half go this way and half to go the other.
But you go, cool, I'm gonna go hang out with the orphans. I go, good, I'm gonna go fuck off here. And someone's like, I'm gonna go.
We split up for the day. We return together.
So they've split the party essentially. Like fucking Dr. Stone is no longer with his super buff friend and that chick. Like for like the last 4 episodes, and I don't know how I feel about it because usually when shows split people up, they still they'll pop between the two of them. But there has been nothing of the other thing of what's going on with them. So I'm interested to see if there will be a point where we just see 3 or 4 episodes of just that, or if they just don't really bring it up and we'll just see them and when they see them. So I don't know.
I don't know how to feel about that because it could be done really well. It could be used as a new plot device, but I don't know. I hope it's used well.
I don't know
if it's good.
I mean, I'm still watching it, so it's fine.
Okay.
I mean, whatever.
All
right, man. I think that's all the anime we fucking watched, right?
Yeah, it absolutely is.
Let's get into the news.
I don't watch more anime, though. The Saga of Tanya, the Evil, the movie is on Crunchyroll now. They were just like, hey, it's on Crunchyroll suddenly, which I don't know if you remembered. A couple weeks ago, we went to Crunchyroll Expo, and they had this big thing that were like, hey, what's going to be new on Crunchyroll? And they said, Kitsune Ai, there's a concert on Crunchyroll now. Cool. Well, they could have told us about this, I guess. I don't know. I feel like 3 weeks for it to just be like, it's exclusive on Crunchyroll, streaming now. I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing.
Maybe just slipped their mind.
I guess. Maybe. Sure.
It would have been a great thing to announce, right?
Yeah. People are a pretty big fan of the show. Yeah. So, the movie's now on Crunchyroll. So if you ever do go and you're like, maybe I should check this out, and you see that it has 72 episodes, do not be intimidated. Because it's just in a shit ton of languages, and Crunchyroll's really weird. So it's 12 episodes, and then there's a movie that's listed as Saga of Tanya the Evil, the movie. Mm-hmm. Cool. Anyways, Demon Slayer?
Yeah.
You know how people like it?
Yeah.
Well, good news for people that like it. At MadFest this year, which was very recent, in the last few days here, essentially they said at a Demon Slayer panel, his story will continue. I hope everyone enjoys Demon Slayer. So anyways, there's season 2 probably on the way.
Okay, cool.
That's a little tease, not like a confirmation or anything, but it seems pretty obvious that it would be around. Mm-hmm. Also, I saw that they have some DLC stuff from Shonen Jump for one of the Monster Hunter games. I think it might be on DS, maybe it's on Switch, where you can get a Tanjiro outfit. He's the main character. With a Nezuko weapon. I can't remember exactly what she is. She's either a gun or a hammer.
Is it Nezuko
the girl?
The sister?
In a box.
So you're just going to hold her and use her as a weapon?
Yep.
Okay. I'd like her to be a gun. I think it'd be more funny for the gun.
That's the difference between Monster Hunter World and all the other Monster Hunters.
Yeah.
Is that you could have some goofy kind of items, but you can't have something like a person is a weapon. Yeah. I love it. It's fucking funny. And then this is an interesting thing. I don't know anything about it, but there's a manga called Runway de Waratte. And it's essentially about this girl that stops growing. She's 5'2", and she really wants to be a model, a runway model. But since she's so short, typically short people aren't chose to be runway models.
Yeah.
She meets somebody else who's an up-and-coming clothing designer, and they start working together. And this manga is now confirmed as a TV anime. Cool. So I'm pretty excited about that. Sounds like a cool, unique, new show. And I do always like those runway shows, whether it's America's Next Top Model or Project Runway or
RuPaul.
I'm not a big RuPaul fan.
Really?
Not a big RuPaul guy.
I've never seen the show, actually. I've only ever seen clips of it. You know, and I go, oh, that's interesting. I don't think I'd ever watch it. But I'm not the biggest fan of the runway shows, actually.
Oh yeah, no, I like certain ones. I don't know, I don't keep up with them clearly, but whenever they were around, I'm like, oh yeah, let me put that on. And what's the one that was on Sci-Fi? That's the costumes and stuff.
That one was really cool. But that one was different. That's
something about skin, I think.
Yeah, where they would make there was for. Like every challenge was like a it had
different
movie
theming,
theme
like,
to do this
not
mech
all the time
thing.
though, but yeah.
Yeah, that one was pretty good. I don't remember what that one's called. I for sure watched all the first 2 seasons of that and then kind of fell off of it.
Yeah, I used to watch it like every time that it was on. I was like, oh yeah, tonight's gonna be pizza and that. I am excited.
Yeah.
While I was living down in LA, it was fun.
That's cool.
So yeah, anyways, I'm excited for this anime. That's it. That's all I got for you. That's all the news. There's not a lot going on because we're about to head into the next season of anime. So there are a bunch of like promotional images and videos coming out. I don't know if it's worth saying because nothing's confirmed yet, but Funimation is definitely going to be streaming My Hero Academia Season 4 dubbed and subbed, right?
So maybe it's only going to be on Funimation.
That's what people are speculating. But I don't want to put that in the news because it's not confirmed. I just thought we should throw it out there. And
we'll talk about it, yeah.
Everyone should be ready. If you're going to watch My Hero, get ready for a Funimation subscription.
Yeah.
Or, you know, you could always pull out your little hat and your hook hand and your little parrot, a peg leg.
Oh, pirating.
Get an eye patch.
Nailed it. You guys pretty funny.
Thanks. So anyways, why don't we get into Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress, Battle of Utano.
Okay, yeah.
Is that what it was called? Is that what I said earlier?
Sure.
I don't know anything. I'm so fucking bad at names literally all the time. Unato. It's just a little bit of dyslexia, right?
Yeah.
Battle of Unato. It's been 2 years or so since we've watched Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress. Probably more than that. It's probably been around 3 years. It's been a long time.
Do you remember the show very well?
I remember parts pretty well.
I don't remember the ending of the show very well. I remember like the beginning part. I remember like being on a train, and I remember just this show being over. So
more or less, that's what happened.
Yeah.
So there's the whole thing with the brother who was the prince, who was a bad guy or whatever.
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember that.
You don't remember that at all? Yeah. So long story short, he's a bad guy. All these towns are doing his bidding. Turns out that he also has the virus stuff going on with him.
He's also a Kabaneri.
Right? He's also a Kabaneri. And then he's a bad guy. He changes his mind. A whole bunch of stuff happens. There's a bunch of fighting. There's some like new monsters that get created too. So not just like regular ass Kabaneri zombie type things, but they're like monstrosities, and they start forming together and creating these giant monstrosities. He takes a Mume, I believe, into like some secret lair or something, and is gonna do some weird stuff to her heart, because the heart is where all of the like, I don't know what it is. It's some kind of a metal and special energy and stuff that the Kabaneri have. And then he winds up getting killed and realizes that he was wrong about a bunch of shit. And then Mume and the main character, whose name starts with a K, I think. I don't remember. They wind up realizing that they have feelings for each other, and that was the end. But like those feelings weren't fully realized. It was just kind of like a more general, like, oh man, I really care about this person, kind of a thing. Right?
That's funny. I could have popped up like the Kabaneri like character list or whatever.
Yeah.
The main character's like not even near like the first row of like.
Really?
Yeah, it's like Mume's in there for sure, but like.
Well, because Mume's the best.
The best, yeah. Ikoma?
Ikoma?
Yeah, I think that's the name of the smarty boy.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Because So this movie is a follow up to this series that aired 2 years ago.
For those of you that don't know, why don't you give us a general?
Okay, so the gist of it is it's like kind of like a feudal-esque Japan kind of time with like steampunk vibes with it.
Definitely,
that's like kind of like the time period you're in. There's these monsters. They're called Kabani. That's the name of the zombies. They're infected humans or whatever. And there's like fortresses and like cities that have like big like fucking buildings and stuff like protecting them. Imagine kind of like what's it? Attack on Titan, kind of like settlements,
there's walls and settlements.
Yeah, there's walls and stuff, and
yeah.
then there's like trains that you can take to get to either settlements. But for most of Japan is fucked. Most of Japan is overrun by these things. Our main character, Ikoma, right? He, I think in the beginning he was kind of either making weapons, he's an inventor, or he worked in a shop where they made like these guns that you would use to kill these.
Yeah, he's trying to find a new weapon that's more efficient to kill these monsters.
Yeah. His like what they use is kind of like these air pressured guns kind of thing.
They're using steam pressure, and air pressure and stuff,
and they're not the best. So he's trying to make a better one. Anyways, where he's at, his settlement gets attacked by these Kabani, and he gets bitten or scratched or whatever.
He's trying to save his family.
Yeah, and he gets fucked. I think what he does, I don't remember exactly, but I think he like ties his head off with the like his neck off with the belt before the infection reaches like his brain.
Close. So he panics, goes into fucking panic mode.
Yeah.
He's bit on his hand or arm or something. So he takes a bunch of like rivets and metal and he tries to like cut off the circulation to his arm first. So he's just like jamming himself full of rivets and it's fucking brutal. It's not working. It's almost reaching his neck.
Like you can see the thing crawling up his arm.
It's crawling up his arm. You see the veins like getting infected or whatever. And that's when he tries to his ultimate goal is to commit suicide.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to turn into Kabaneri.
Yeah, he doesn't want to turn into one. So he's like, all right, I'll use my belt and I'll kill myself, strangle myself. It'll be good. Instead,
it saves him, right? Like,
yeah.
So like his body kind of, the thing kind of goes through the infection, but it doesn't ever get to his brain. So he's alive and dead. He's a new hybrid. He's not human. He's not Kabaneri. They call them, those are Kabaneris or whatever. And he has like, more strength now, more stamina. He's better essentially, and
he also gets more tired.
He does,
too.
yeah.
So it's like he's just extreme now.
He also gets a really dope, like he goes from being the nerdiest anime character to being like the edgiest, dopest character
absolutely.
ever. His hair changes color.
Yeah, it was first like a dirty blonde, and then it turns into he's got a freaky white tuft.
Oh yeah, he looks so fucking hot.
It's cool.
It's like,
dude, he does look hot.
I'm like, ooh, boy, you could have any day of the week. He looks so good.
I'm going to just say every character in the show is hot.
Oh, yeah.
Even Mume, who's like 10 years old. Because I don't know how old she actually is.
I know how old she is because I looked it up.
How old is she?
I'll want to talk about it later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I still don't know how to feel about certain things. But anyways, she's a child, but she's also like an adult. So she fits that very weird area of, I don't fucking know how old you are, but like, they made you too attractive for how old you are.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Anyways, so our homie is now this Kabaneri thing. He has his prototype gun that he's been working on. It's just kind of like this like shotgun kind of thing that like he has to get really close to like hit them in the hearts and he just fucking obliterates Kabaneris.
Yeah,
I mean Kabanis.
It's like it's like the Large Hadron Collider, but it's on his arm.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
So the survivors of the city get on the train and they just kind of start leaving, and then the show kind of becomes more like what was the name of that movie? Snowpiercer, where it's just like,
Okay.
You ever see Snowpiercer?
No.
It's a good movie, man.
Okay.
So now they're going from like this, this settlement.
Never even heard of it.
Never seen Snowpiercer? No. Oh, dude, it's great.
I'm sitting over here and I'm like, is this common knowledge?
Oh, yeah.
It might be, but I'm just like,
it's got Chris Evans in it.
None of my friends have ever talked about it in my life.
Fuck.
Never heard of it.
Well, let's talk about Snowpiercer real quick.
All right.
No, so in Snowpiercer, it's like dystopian. Everything, all the world turned to ice, except for this one guy who made a train that goes all the way around the world. And so now, like, that's the only people that live. The people live on this train, and he just goes all the way around the world. And it's pretty good. You should check it out. Anyways, that's weird. I thought like you and I must have talked about this before.
You're just like, fucking everyone knows that it's great. You didn't even bring this up when we first talked about Kabaneri like a million years ago. No,
maybe
I promise I would remember.
Maybe Snowpiercer wasn't out by then.
It's a recent thing? How did I not know about it?
I mean, it's not like it wasn't like a huge theatrical release kind of thing.
All right, you talk about the show. I'm going to look up Snowpiercer for like an hour.
Okay. By the way, Snowpiercer also has a new series. They made the series. It's on the Sci-Fi Channel, I think, which I haven't seen. But I'm talking about the movie. Anyways, so now their goal is to go to these other settlements and like find aid, and they eventually want to figure out how to kill all the Kabani. We meet Mume's there, whatever. She's this really dope character. And that's kind of it. I mean, like I remember like the ending. The best I remember, the ending is like there's like this big, like the Kabanis all kind of fuse together and turn into a giant monster kind of thing, and then they thwart it and kill it, and then that's how the season kind of ends, right?
Huh. Okay.
Something I will want to say though, like when we were talking about like whether you need to watch this series to watch this movie, I don't know. Like I mean, because the movie kind of starts off in like
okay, so the movie doesn't hold your hand, but it's also a totally different story.
Yeah, like it doesn't. I feel like it. Okay,
it's not like a season 2 of something.
Yeah, like if you hadn't seen the series before this, I don't think it's like it's not the worst thing. You could probably still watch this movie and be like, okay, cool, because they do a good enough job to be like, these are bad guys. We're fucking super powered. our job is to take back this fucking castle or whatever. And that's kind of like the gist of the movie.
But also, you're missing all of the best parts.
Of the show, yeah, absolutely. But I'm saying like you don't need them in order to
watch it. But I'm just saying that this movie, you won't have any attachment to the characters whatsoever.
No, because there's a bit where they're talking about like in the movie they're talking about like his friend who was this fat character who was like this also like
I like him.
Inventor. I don't think he must have died in the series because I didn't see him in the movie at all.
I think he sacrificed himself.
Okay,
or something.
Yeah. Okay, so that's how much I didn't remember. I was like, I remember liking him. Be like, yeah, where is this fat friend?
I forgot about him.
Not
honestly,
there.
Yeah.
And then again, like one of your favorite characters is like the chick that conducts the engine or this.
Yeah, she's like the driver of the train.
Not really. She's in it kind of like a for a bit.
Yeah.
A character I also really liked was like the girl that takes care of like the other little kids.
The kids, yeah, the nanny.
She kind of wasn't really in it either.
She says essentially she's like the matchmaker.
Yeah.
For like 2 scenes.
Mm-hmm. So you do lose bits of characters in this, in this movie if you haven't seen the show. But again, if you don't want to see the show, you don't have to. You can just watch this movie. I think the show is a little bit better than this movie, but the movie it was still like at least a good time in my opinion. Like I don't regret watching it. It's not. I don't think it's like the best movie. I don't think it's like a must watch. But if you happen to check it out, yeah, fucking cool for you. So yeah. So that's Kabaneri the Iron Fortress. This is the movie. It's been a year and a half since the last events, right? That's the time period.
Which honestly, coming into it, it's been a year and a half since a bunch of crazy shit's happened. But essentially, they've been doing the same thing, fighting all of these zombies, living very dangerously.
Yeah.
And all of our characters from the original show are still alive, despite a bunch dying along the way beforehand.
Yeah, exactly.
I felt like as a show watcher, a little bit cheated from this.
Felt a little unrealistic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they made it seem like, oh, it's not that hard to live in this world, Their new goal in the movie is like they've collected seeds and they're trying to reclaim like this specific city because there's a lot of fertile farmland there, so they can like grow this rice and actually make food and like maybe have like slowly start rebuilding society or whatever. It's also winter time, right?
Yeah.
And this is the worst time for the Kabanis because again
they're slower.
Whatever, they're slower. They do a lot with like in the show it explains about it, something about like their heat. They radiate heat, so like when they're cold, like they can't move as fast or whatever. Kind of like maybe zombies would be like in real life. Maybe right.
And then there is I'm going to call it a mechanic because this does not feel like a realistic thing at all. Where the Kabaneri are able to, they're the people that are extra powerful and have superpowers. Essentially, they're able to use their powers for short periods of time. Because they get overheated. Yeah. And there's the balance between being too hot and too cold. Yeah. So I don't fucking know, man.
Yeah, it's weird, right? Like it's a nice like in between that they have to run.
Yep, double-edged sword.
Yeah. So this is what the movie does a year and a half after. They're like I said, they're trying to reclaim the specific plan, and they've met up with other groups, of fighters. And some of them, don't trust the Iron Fortress, which is the name of like the
one where the superpower people are.
Yeah, they don't trust them because like they're like, oh, you guys are just dumb. You guys are infected. You guys are monsters. And it's like these guys are badasses. You guys should shut the fuck up, right?
I mean, that's how it starts out. And then you see, all right, so Mumei's literally killing everything with no problem. She's flaunting it a bit. She's doing the most badass shit ever. She's doing like anime John Wick stuff, essentially.
Yeah, no, I love the way she handles her gun. She doesn't she doesn't like hold it traditionally like a weapon.
It's like a baton, and then every once in a while when she grabs it, it's like she's in color guard or some shit, throwing her gun around, and then instead of just like catching it and marching, she just fucking does 12 flips and shoots a dude in the heart.
She's pretty awesome.
It's so cool.
That's for sure. Like the coolest, the slickest animation is seeing her do stuff, and she's very agile. She's very fast.
Yeah.
And she can. I love when she does the bit where she looks how far she got to go. She goes 30 seconds, like how long it's gonna take her to get there. And she looks at her watch. And she goes, 45 seconds. Like, what the fuck, Like she's like, I'm like, you cocky son of a bitch, Anyways, the other character, the sexy boy,
Ikoma.
Yes, he's powerful. Yes, he can. He's not as slick as Mumei, right? Like the way he does his fightings. There's a lot of.
Listen, man. If it's been a year and a half,
you think
Mumei's at that level? She's training and fighting with him all the fucking time.
Yeah.
He's still not dead and they're doing the same shit.
Yeah.
You can't convince me that he doesn't have more tricks up his sleeve than we saw.
Yeah.
But we didn't see anything.
What's cool is because what's interesting is like there's a point where she's fighting and she like yells back at one point to like tell Ikuma whatever, hey, they're coming from this flank, or like, you know, she's coordinating with him, right? But he's not there because of some other reason, right?
He's doing other shit.
Yeah, he's like tied up or something. But it makes that leads us to believe like, yeah, they're a team. They work together hand in hand. Like, but she is so much more fluid and faster than she is.
So
like,
much.
And all he kind of does is walk up to people and go, shotgun to the chest, shotgun to the chest. And he gets bit. He goes, shotgun to the chest.
I think his like, I don't know how Mume works, but he's essentially like, I could get bit, I could get shot.
Don't give a
fuck it. Yeah. He just keeps going. Mume doesn't fuck with that.
Yeah. If you would, she's water, he's a rock. Like that's what it is. Like,
yeah.
like,
she's full dex, he's full strength. You know?
Yeah. Okay. So something we've been like the big issue in this movie is that Ikuma is noticing that the Kabaneri are kind of starting to move, like, no, the Kabaneri are starting to move in different formations. Like, they're attacking specific people.
Yeah.
Like, he is looking at their footprints, and it looks like they're kind of being guided somewhere. And he's kind of convinced that there's somebody out there controlling them.
And he starts getting these headaches, too.
And he looks kind of, you know, under the weather. And everybody, like, all the people who are humans and people, like, in higher, like, you know, standings, like, military people, whatever, they all kind of look at him, like, and they're like, you're a fucking idiot. Like, and I was just like, what?
I'm sorry. This dude that's been saving people's lives, that's part of the like A squad.
Yeah.
He's having weird headaches and has some cool ideas. Maybe you should listen to him. I don't know.
I like how he suggests at one point, he goes like, hey man, I think someone might be pulling the strings. Would it be cool if like we scouted behind us real quick? Like I just in the rear, like, and he goes like, I'll do it. And they'll go,
we're already a team.
Yeah.
So
he goes, yeah, I'll just take a couple people. We'll check out the back. I think something's going on. And they go, you fucking fool. And then they even at one point, like, what's the word? Like, accuse him of being the one controlling them. He's like, I just want to help, you know? And then he gets sick and then he starts like becoming kind of feral and he starts acting more like one of these Kabanis, like these like actually infected people. And
which I think he struggled with that in the show a couple of points.
But he's gotten used to it.
It's been a year and a half. Yeah. He's fine. But so it's weird that something's going on. There's obviously something
going up, and like they're gonna kill him. And he goes like, "All right, how about you guys just lock me away for 3 days, and if like the symptoms go away, I should be fine." So they lock him up, which is like, I feel like a really cheap thing in like storytelling where they go, "We need an excuse for our main character not to be there. Let's just pull him out of the thing." And how do we pull him out? They're gonna lock him up. It just felt really forced. It didn't feel like very realistic. Like he's the one that goes, wait, instead of killing me, how about you just put me away somewhere? And I go, shut the fuck up. Like, no, you're not feeling well. People should be listening to you. Anyways, the people who are in charge of this fucking attack are like planning to do it in a couple days, and they say, fuck it, we're doing it now. You know, like they just kind of decide on a whim, we're doing this shit now. And everything is kind of, shit just starts hitting the fan, man. People start getting fucking slaughtered left and right. They have this really big gun, right, that like shoots these massive shells.
Oh yeah.
And they're shooting it at this tower that's been encased by like this iron web. It's kind of what they describe it. Like Kabani, or the Kabani can like make this, I think, with fusing their bodies or some shit like that.
There's a bunch of weird stuff that started happening near the end of the TV show, TV series that
didn't really make too much sense.
Yeah, suddenly Kabani just had all these extra powers.
These
and
other
they weren't
abilities,
just like infected zombie people that are super fast and powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they shoot like one of the shells at the castle and it busts it open a little bit. And like, we got to keep shooting. And then there's just a Kabaneri who's at the top of the castle or whatever.
King of the castle.
And he's got like a sniper rifle and he's just sniping off people. He's got a really good shot. And then the fucking train gets overrun because obviously these Kabaneri are being controlled by somebody, and then they get fucked. They fucking plug the hole of the barrel like with their bodies, and then some idiot decides to shoot it, and it fucking blows up. Wouldn't you know? When I saw that, I was like, "You're a military man. You know when like your barrel's plugged, you shouldn't shoot it because it's dangerous,
man.
right?"
He's not a military man. He's just a survivor.
It was so fucking dumb. Anyways, those guys get fucked. The Iron Fortress guys, like the people who are on the train with our main characters, go, hey, you know what? I feel kind of bad about not listening to Ikuma because, you know, he's always kind of done the right thing and never led us astray. Maybe we should listen to him, right? And so then they go...
Weird thought.
So then they decided we're going to rally the troops. Some of them are going to go split up and go check out the tunnel that he wanted to. The other people are going to hit the front lines. Go. Ikuma escapes his fucking bondage. He comes and says Mume, right?
Mume, yeah.
At the last second, because she's fighting a Kabaneri who's like this, kind of like this beastie kind of boy.
He's like, everywhere he walks, he leaves behind the metal strands.
Iron stuff, yeah.
it looks more like crystal when he's walking.
Yeah.
It's cool, kind of a cool effect, honestly. But yeah, he's down on all fours and he's a beastie boy.
I liked how he got fucking killed so easily. Like Ikoma kind of falls from the sky, hits him with the baton, and he starts like blasting into him with his gun. I go, yeah.
Well, one blast didn't take him down.
No, he had to do a bunch of them. Yeah. One of my favorite. I don't know. I don't know what fight it's in, but I know that at one point, Mume's kind of overwhelmed, and she has to use her foot to pull the trigger of her gun. And I was like, this is so fucking dumb. I love this shit.
This is over the top. It's super anime. I don't think we mentioned it earlier. Which the studio behind it, they did Attack on Titan. They are so good at over the top dramatic action. It's fucking great. Honestly, all of the action moments in this are the only reason you should watch it. Don't watch it for the story. Don't watch it for the characters. No. It looks gorgeous, and the action sequences are out of control, dude.
It does feel like one of those movies where it's like, you kind of feel like one of those like those Naruto movies.
It's a one-off.
We're just like, hey, it's just a thing that's happening or whatever. And it doesn't really develop the characters, right? And and that's one thing I really liked about the
character development in this movie is Mume is convinced that Ikoma has feelings for her. In a more like, we're going to be together forever and get married kind of way than just, I support you and I care so much about you. It's like, I care about you forever kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So she's trying to express her feelings to him, but it all gets subverted by the insane amount of fuckery and stuff.
Like him not feeling good. Like she's been like sewing this. I didn't know what it was. I thought it was like maybe like a necklace scarf
it's a
thing.
Scarf for sure.
I thought it was a scarf. But she's sewing this thing like a gift for him with like this crystal in it, and like she just wants to give it to him so bad, and like he's just like, not right now. She's like, is she? I love how she goes, this will literally take like 2 seconds. Like, just like, can we step over here? And he goes, I gotta go. I'm like, you piece of shit. Like,
it's such a fucking anime trope
it's
type
so
thing.
dumb.
So there are lots of moments that don't make any sense
or matter
because it doesn't. I don't know. Nothing felt like impactful in the movie. But the action was fucking cool.
Sick, So just to finish this up, we find out that the person in the tower, that's has this iron web around her, is the princess of this tower, and like the guy that's protecting her was the king of the tower, and he's he's a Kabaneri now, and he's really mad because like he got bitten and he turned into Kabaneri, and his men, instead of like protecting him, tried to kill him, and then his daughter killed herself jumping in front of the bullet. So he wants revenge. He gets fucking mega boosted by our main characters. They
have a big old fight in the Iron Fortress, essentially. Yeah.
And then
no, sorry. It's not the Iron Fortress. It's a fortress made out of iron. The Iron Fortress is the train.
So you're right. It's a bit that, because we were talking about like when you got here, you go, hey man, I was watching. It goes like, the last bit kind of put me to sleep. And I was telling you, I watched the last bit too, and I also fell asleep, and I woke up.
It kind of got boring once there was a big old fight, and you could tell what was going to happen. I'm like, I don't know, the action's not doing it right now.
but I fell asleep, and I woke up, and I was like, fuck, because it was just the ending. I go, God, I got to rewind it and see how this actually ends. So I rewinded it, and then so the girl wakes up, the princess wakes up, and she moves the giant iron things, and she's a giant monster. And, the other characters are just kind of like escaping, like, and she just
she's more powerful for some reason. She has like some blue energy.
But then she just kind of die. She just kind of like, it doesn't like, our main characters don't do anything. They don't shoot with a giant rocket. She just kind of just dies. The way you do.
I think that she was so connected to her brother's drive, or her dad's drive, that once he kind of realized what he was doing as well, it made her lose all of her energy and hatred and whatnot. Because essentially they were just like, well, if nobody can trust us, then we can't trust anybody. We're going to kill everyone. That was their whole... That's
their logic,
It's just stupid shit.
So everything kind of gets resolved. All fucking everything's okay. And then the Iron Fortress is just like, all right, we're out of here. Peace.
Yep.
And they're going to leave. And like, there's this one side character that goes back home and he like eats stew with his family or whatever. We're back on the train and we're seeing clips of like all the characters doing something. We have like that little moment with like the engineer chick talking to this other guy that can assist him. So she goes like, I'm glad you're okay. And he goes like, kind of blushes. And she goes, there's a lot of stuff to be done on the fucking train. I go,
Even
you
though-
bitch, you know you guys like each other. Just say you like each other.
Also, you guys weren't really around for the movie.
Exactly, but
So-
I feel like they added that just to be like, hey guys, wouldn't it be cool if these people sort of like liking each other? Like, yeah, maybe if fucking you showed us some of it or whatever, as opposed to just being the fucking end. We see that like the princess that's on the train and the guy that protects her with the blue blazer,
Yeah.
like they have feelings for each other or whatever. There's like a blush between the two of them. I go, this is so lame. And then here's the real fucking payoff for the entire thing.
What
right?
is it? What is the payoff?
Mume and him are like sitting on like on the railings on the outside of the train, and they're talking. And I was waiting for her to give him the gift.
Oh yeah,
Turns out she already given it to him. And
it's there.
Yeah,
He's checking it out.
it's this really weird like
It's like a half glove.
it's like a glove that fits around his wrist, and then it wraps into like his index finger, and then back on the other side, right?
It looks kind of like a bow protector, like an arm guard.
but for the wrong finger.
Yep.
And then he, in the middle of his palm, is this gem, like this yellow gem that has been, the yarn has been sewed around it or
all
whatever.
stitched, yeah.
So it's like it's stuck there in place. But I'm just like, that'd be such an inconvenient thing
Yes,
to
absolutely.
have,
Especially
How
in
are
his
you gonna-
gun hand.
How are you gonna hold your gun, bro?
Maybe he doesn't hold. I don't know for sure. I'm sure it makes more sense because clearly they care a lot about these things, even if they're not great writers. They're good at world building and details and stuff. Maybe I didn't pay attention to it. Maybe he just uses his fingers.
Yeah,
and he
but-
like pulls back or something.
But he'd still have to have something like to say it's like, say the gun's like on his like forearm kind of bit, right? He'd have to have something like loops around for it to like stay in place. So maybe he has something to squeeze, but it still would be in the way. It'd be kind of cumbersome.
It's still kind of in the way, yeah, absolutely. I'm just saying, like, he can't do like a full grab of whatever it is,
Yeah,
but
he can't-
he could do enough. I don't know.
Yeah, he for sure can't like grip a gun and then like pull a trigger or something because it'd be
no.
super inconvenient. Anyways, it looks
looked
dumb as
dumb.
fuck. And she goes, hey, you notice that the stone in the center swirls? And he goes,
Dude, it's got crazy designs.
and the guy goes, what? Ikoma's like, what? And he starts looking at his hand, and she like comes over to like peek on it and like, look at it too.
oh my gosh, what'd she do?
What's she doing? Boom, kisses him. And then she blushes super red. He's like super taken aback, and they're like, and it's like it's like the most anime moment in the entire show. He goes like, what the fuck was that? Or whatever.
And then the end.
And then they start dancing.
Yeah, it's like credits roll, and then suddenly they're dancing on a train. And I've seen this sequence before. I forgot about it. Somebody posted it forever ago, and they're like, "Look how fucking good this dance is."
It does look good, but
It looks really good.
It's like so the thing ends, the credits starts rolling, and like they're on the train, and they're all like in like festive attire, and they're all dancing in unison, and like they're all having a great time. And like the character that's like a total like badass, like guy in the blue blazer, is like super serious about his dance moves, and Ikoma is enjoying himself, and it's just very it's very nice. It's very strange, yeah.
it feels out of place, but man, it was fun.
Yeah, I was sitting there being like, yeah, this song kind of bops, dog. I'm fucking enjoying
The
this.
song was fun. The dancing was good. Like the animation was stellar. And that's the thing. Even with dancing, it's like in action, any kind of human movement. Fuck, it's so good at animating it, dude.
That's probably the reason I enjoyed it so much, because it actually looks really well.
Oh, it looks gorgeous.
So I think it's really funny that they share this kiss at the very end, because it's like it feels a little like
it's so weird.
it just feels kind of forced, and you go, really, like I don't know, like I wish they would have done a better job of being like they care about each other. They're like or she has this wants to be with him, or I don't know. It feels like it's just kind of there in the beginning. There's a little bit in the center. There's always that sexual tension between these Kabaneris. You know they want a fucking bone.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. It just felt really strange. And then this is what led me to wonder, how old are these characters?
Because he looks like he's like 20 something.
Okay, yeah, he does.
She looks like she's maybe an adult, but probably 12.
So the reason she looks maybe like an adult is because she's drawn that way, right? Like so it's like she's a total badass. She has like larger chest than she should, long legs or whatever. She is 12 actually.
Okay, because I thought that was the fucking number.
Yeah.
She's a hot 12-year-old, but god damn it, she should not be 12 years old.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so strange. I go, you fucking with me, Wit. And then he actually, I think in the show he looked a lot older. In the movie he looked younger.
He did.
In the movie he's 17. So it's 5-year gap, right? They're both technically.
I mean, it's still weird.
They're both because here's a defense for all of us. Technically, they're both teenagers. It's okay.
Yeah.
Actually, 12 isn't a teenager, but they're not adults yet.
We're still calling a 12-year-old and a 17-year-old hot, just so we're clear.
Yeah, they're fucking hot.
Still
they're
super
so fucking
hot.
And then I guess the other justification is this is like a war-torn fucking post-apocalyptic Eto period where like
no rules.
Yeah, you got married whenever the fuck your mom told you to get married, right? So it's like so age maybe isn't that important.
Oh man, remember that one show that's airing this season where there's that like princess that came out of a dish or something, and she's like 10 and she's like, hey, my whole goal is so that I could find a prince or whatever.
And he just goes, well, aren't you technically like 3,000 years old, so we can do it. Yeah.
So anyways, no rules. Anime doesn't give a fuck. Who gives a shit anymore? You know?
That's so wild, man. I can't believe she's 12. That really blew my mind.
But she's so young.
Such a badass, yeah. And I was like, fuck, she's 12. Now I'm a bad person.
And then the final shot is of her shoes, which are these
the dopest shoes ever.
Which a 12-year-old shouldn't be wearing.
It's horrible for your feet.
It's like 6-inch heels with bells in the platform.
And they're also like really sharp, so they just chop someone's head off.
Oh, yeah.
Dope as fuck. One thing I would like to talk about, the one thing that like kind of bugged me for the entire movie, was the movie starts with like a really quick recap of like how the series ends at the end, right? Mm-hmm. And like they're all there talking. He makes his promise to her, saying like, "Hey, I promise that I'm gonna make you back into a human," right? And that's the whole like the promise, the whole relationship.
That's it feels like we're gonna get married.
That's thing. It's not like a proposal for marriage, but it is like, wow, he obviously cares about me more than just like as a friend, right? Mm-hmm. In that shot, he has the hottest haircut. Like his hair is shorter, and he's got this little tuft. And I'm like, damn, boy, you looking sexy. He's looking like he's like a snack, like a 21-year-old snack.
Well, yeah, because it looks like they took the show and they were like, cool, it's in the future now. They have different hairstyles and stuff. And then it went straight back.
But so it's like, cool. That was a year and a half ago. He's got this hot haircut. I don't know if maybe in the end of the series he got a haircut. I don't remember that.
I think it got super fucked up or something. Yeah.
And then we see him here, and he's just like a fucking.
He just looks like himself.
He's got a puffy head of hair. He's not as hot. I'm kind of bummed, man.
Yeah, well,
I was really bummed out. He wasn't looking as hot.
He's looking hot still.
Not as hot.
He's still hot though. Don't worry.
Yeah. Fuck, man. I feel like we talked a lot about how hot these guys were.
They were hot guys, man.
Yeah, they were hot guys.
We didn't get to see the kick-ass pink-haired chick do anything kick-ass, though. She's ripped as fuck. She's hot as hell.
Trip's favorite character is the train conductor.
Yeah, she's fucking awesome.
I like her a lot because in the show, she begrudgingly becomes a train conductor.
Yeah.
She goes, fuck, I guess I'll do it. And she takes off her shirt, and she's just like yoked. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
She's so cool.
Yeah.
But she has pink hair, which is kick-ass.
Yeah.
For, like, not a main character to have, She's just a side character.
One of my favorite things about this, like, world or whatever is the visual aesthetics. I fucking love their clothes.
Honestly, their clothes mixed with the steampunk style is so cool. It's such a good combo.
I love the armor that they wear. Like, one of the guys, I don't think he has any lines in the fucking movie, but he's, like, the right-hand man to, like, the guy in the blue blazer. He has, like, he's a bigger guy, more like stocky kind of dude. He's not stocky. I'm saying he's like bulky.
Buff, yeah.
Like he's big. He has like this really dumb like hair strand like in the front, but he has this head plate armor thing that kind of goes around his head and down the sides of his head. Kind of looks like the helmets that they wore in like the Legend of Korra for like the Bender bending games or whatever.
I don't remember what they called them, but where it was 3v3s.
Yeah. It looks kind of like that. It has like this weird like circular metal thing, and I'm like, that looks. I was like,
sick.
I'm always a real big fan of that.
And Mume has some shit like that too. Yeah.
And then later we meet another guy. He's in charge of like a band of dudes, and he's like a shorter, more like a dwarfy looking guy. And he has the same helmet,
cool.
But he has like little horns on.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god, I'm a sucker for
horns.
All of
his people looked fucking awesome.
Yeah, man. I just really like the style in this, like the clothing style in this world.
Put so much effort on the character design and the action sequences and all of those really cool things. They built the world really well by just showing everything. Like you could look at it and be like, whoa, I'm learning about this just from this picture where it's not explaining a thing, learning about kind of what's going on. I thought it was interesting that the architecture is a little bit different.
Yeah.
Like they have this one shot of a building where it has a big old circle in the middle, and it has a bunch of just offshoots of it almost looks like it's a train area,
like
where
a train station kind of thing.
Yeah, where they put the trains to like do maintenance and stuff. But it wasn't. It was very unique looking.
Yeah.
And I like how it shows that this world is different. It's not just adjusted
replica of our world. It's like
it's not our world. It's as if things were different for a while, and it shows.
Yeah, no, I that's one thing I for sure always I liked about the Kabaneri, the Iron Fortress is is the style that goes into like the attention to detail, like the not just like clothing, but like again like the architect, you know, the fucking machinery. It's all really cool looking, and I hate steampunk. You know, I'm a huge anti steampunk. That's not true.
It completely varies for me with steampunk. There is some steampunk which I'm not a big fan of. Like a lot of London steampunk isn't that fantastic in my opinion. Like that's not my go-to. But then there's steampunk that does a good job if it's subtle or if it's like over the top and dramatic in a very different way than we're used to.
You know what type of steampunk I'm not a big fan of, and they've only learned about it recently, was someone brought it up. They were describing a game they wanted to create like last semester when I was still in school. And he's like, yeah, imagine it being like diesel punk. And I'm like, well, what is diesel punk? And he goes like, it's like steampunk, but like really gross and dirty. And I go, oh, yeah, I don't like that. No, I'm not a fan of that. But this steampunk, you know, it seems clean and efficient. You know, a lot of it's like really like, sometimes it's very subtle. And it's like, yeah, I'm a fan of that. Yeah, fucking. Here's the thing. We were talking about like whether this movie is like, is it good? Is it bad? Is it worth watching? All that stuff. Yada yada yada. I think I enjoyed watching this. Like I had a good time watching all the action sequences. I don't think it was like the best movie when it came to like the story or the character development. Like I said, it felt like one of those like, you know, one-offs kind of like Naruto movies where just like, yeah, they kind of did this one mission and there's no real like stakes to it.
Right.
The one thing this movie did make me feel was like, oh man, I wouldn't complain if another season of Kabaneri, the Iron Fortress came out.
No, absolutely not. I mean, it was really cool. It was a lot of fun. We didn't get the things that the show delivered, but we got a lot of really good high budget animation because it was a movie.
It was a movie, yeah. So like, I'd be down for another season. I would for sure keep watching it if they could do it. I mean, if it's obviously, from what I remember, if I remember correctly, this isn't based off anything. This is like an original concept or whatever.
It is.
It's not, you know, not based off manga, not you know, fucking light novel, or whatever. I remember giving it a lot of grief, being like, Wit made this to satiate people like wanting some more Attack on Titan. I don't know. It's for sure different. It's not like copying Attack on Titan. There's a few similarities or whatever, but it's its own thing. It's for sure worth the watch. Like the show, I think, is worth the watch.
Yes, I know for sure it's on Amazon. Don't know. I don't think it's on Netflix. This is the only Kabaneri that popped up when I looked up Kabaneri. And I think it's weird because they're advertising as a show because it says it's a season.
Yeah.
And then it's part 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
When in reality, it was originally a film that came out in theaters.
Yeah. And the parts are broken up to like 22 minutes. So it's like an hour.
Kind of episode long. Yeah.
It is a little strange. So yeah. I would like to see more Kabaneri. This isn't a must watch by any means. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. Like, I'm not saying, hey, go check this out. But if you've seen Kabaneri and you want to see some more, go for it.
Why not?
If you want to watch this and not watch the show, you're more than welcome to. It's not going to really affect it. It's just not going to be as good because you're not going to get all the side stories or like the backgrounds for all these characters that we get to see. So yeah, that's how I feel about, you know, this movie or whatever.
Cool. Well, next week, I don't think we have like a definitive topic yet. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff. If you're listening to the episode right now, tonight, I believe, and tomorrow night, you can go and see Premiere. Tonight, it's dubbed. Tomorrow night, Thursday night, it's subbed. Just as a heads up. We're not going to talk about that.
We already saw it, yeah.
We've already talked about it a little bit.
Did we spoil it?
We didn't spoil it. Please go and see it. It's over the top. It's a lot of fun. It's so rad. You're going to have a great time. Don't expect it to be anything really impactful, though. It's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's just Trigger being the best Trigger they can be.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, it's way over the top anime. Yeah. So.
It's good.
Yeah, it's a good time. I don't think I'm going to watch that. You watching that?
No, I'm not going to go back.
I don't think so. Yeah.
I've got plans, man. Yeah. Monster Hunter's ton.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, so we don't have a topic yet. We'll figure something out. I think that's it though, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. If you like our logo, hit up Aaron from TurveyTops.com. If you like our theme song, check out Tom Nasser on SoundCloud and YouTube. Trip, where can we find us?
You can find us on Facebook. Look up the Instagram Podcast. Same thing goes for Instagram. Look up the Instagram Podcast. If you want to tweet at us, tweet at InstaRamenPod.
Pox Benefit.
And you could go ahead and shoot us an email, InstaRamenPodcast@gmail.com. I love you guys. Thank you for listening.
This is bye from Juan.
I'll see you around from Chris.
Hey, Trip, don't forget.
Just add hot water.